From translation, ISV International Standard Version, this 117th day of the year, today we are reading passages 2 Kings 18-19, 2 Kings chapter 18, verses 1 to 37. In the third year of Hoshea son of Elah, king of Israel, Hezekiah son of Ahaz became king of Judah. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned for 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Abijah daughter of Zechariah. He did what was right in the sight of the Lord, just as his ancestor David had done. He removed the high places, smashed the sacred pillars, and cut down the Asherah poles. He also broke into pieces the bronze serpent that Moses had made, because up to that time the Israelites had been burning incense to it. It was called Nehushtan. Hezekiah trusted in the Lord, the God of Israel, and there was no one like him among all the kings of Judah after him or before him. He clung to the Lord and did not depart from following him, but kept his commandments, which the Lord had commanded Moses. The Lord was with him, and wherever he went he prospered. He rebelled against the king of Assyria and did not serve him. He defeated the Philistines as far as Gaza and its territory, from watchtower to fortified city. In the 4th year of King Hezekiah, which was the 7th year of Hoshea son of Elah, king of Israel, King Shalmaneser of Assyria came up against Samaria and besieged it. At the end of 3 years they captured it. In the 6th year of Hezekiah, which was the 9th year of Hoshea king of Israel, Samaria was captured. The king of Assyria deported the Israelites to Assyria and settled them in Halah, on the Habah, the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes. This happened because they did not obey the Lord their God, but transgressed his covenant, all that Moses the servant of the Lord had commanded, and did not listen to or obey him. In the 14th year of King Hezekiah, King Sennacherib of Assyria attacked all the fortified cities of Judah and captured them. Hezekiah king of Judah sent word to the king of Assyria at Lachish, "I have done wrong. Withdraw from me, whatever you impose on me I will bear." The king of Assyria imposed on Hezekiah king of Judah 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold. So Hezekiah gave the silver all to the king of Assyria. At that time the king of Assyria exacted from Hezekiah king of Judah all the silver that was found in the house of the Lord and in the treasuries of the king's palace. King Hezekiah of Judah stripped the gold from the doors of the house of the Lord, and from the doorposts that King Hezekiah of Judah had overlaid, and gave it to the king of Assyria. The king of Assyria sent his commander-in-chief, a great army, and he came up to Jerusalem. He stood by the conduit of the upper pool on the highway of the fuller's field, and they called for the king. Then Eliakim son of Hilkiah, who was over the palace, Shebna the secretary, and Joe son of Asaph the recorder came out to him. The commander-in-chief said to them, "Tell Hezekiah, thus says the great king, the king of Assyria. What confidence is this in which you trust? You say, but it is empty words, I have counsel and might for war. On whom do you now rely, that you have rebelled against me? Look, now that you rely on the staff of this broken reed, on Egypt, that it is a staff that goes into a man's hand and pierces it, so is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all who rely on him. But if you say to me, we rely on the Lord our God, is that not he whose high places and altars Hezekiah has removed, saying to Judah and Jerusalem, you shall worship before this altar in Jerusalem. Come now, make a wager with my master, the king of Assyria. I will give you 2,000 horses if you are able to put riders on them. How can you repulse even one of my master's servants, when you rely on Egypt for chariots and horsemen? Moreover, have I come up without the Lord's approval against this place to destroy it? The Lord said to me, go up against this land and destroy it." Then Eliakim son of Hilkiah, Shebna, and Joe said to the commander-in-chief, "Please speak to your servants in Aramaic, for we understand it. Do not speak to us in the language of Judah within the hearing of the people who are on the wall." But the commander-in-chief said to them, "Has my master sent me only to your master and you to speak these words, and not to the men who sit on the wall, eating their own dung and drinking their own urine with you?" Then the commander-in-chief stood and called out in Hebrew, "Hear the word of the great king, the king of Assyria. Thus says the king, do not let Hezekiah deceive you, for he will not be able to deliver you out of my hand. Do not let Hezekiah make you rely on the Lord, saying, the Lord will surely deliver us, and this city will not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Do not listen to Hezekiah, for thus says the king of Assyria, make your peace with me and come out to me. Then each of you will eat from your own vine and each from your own fig tree, and each of you will drink water from your own cistern. Until I come and take you away to a land like your own land, a land of grain and wine, a land of bread and vineyards, a land of olive trees and honey, so that you may live and not die. Do not listen to Hezekiah, for he is deceiving you, saying, the Lord will deliver us. Has any of the gods of the nations ever delivered its land out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath and Arpad? Where are the gods of Sepharvaim, Hena, and Iva? have they delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who among all the gods of these lands have delivered their lands out of my hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? But the people were silent and answered him not a word, for the king's command was, Do not answer him. Then Eliakim son of Hilkiah, who was over the palace, Shebna the secretary, and Joe son of Asaph the recorder, came to Hezekiah with their clothes torn, and told him the words of the commander-in-chief. 2 Kings chapter 19, verses 1 to 37. When King Hezekiah heard it, he tore his clothes, put on sackcloth, and went into the house of the Lord. He sent Eliakim, who was over the palace, Shebna the secretary, and the senior priests, clothed in sackcloth, to the prophet Isaiah son of Amoz. They said to him, Thus says Hezekiah, This day is a day of distress, of rebuke, and of disgrace. Children have come to birth, but there is no strength to bring them forth. It may be that the Lord your God will hear all the words of the commander-in-chief, whom his master the king of Assyria has sent to mock the living God, and will rebuke the words that the Lord your God has heard. Therefore lift up a prayer for the remnant that is left. When the servants of King Hezekiah came to Isaiah, Isaiah said to them, Thus shall you say to your master, Thus says the Lord. Do not be afraid because of the words that you have heard, with which the servants of the king of Assyria have revoked me. Behold, I will put a spirit in him, and he shall hear a rumor and return to his own land, and I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. The commander-in-chief returned, and found the king of Assyria fighting against Libnah, for he had heard that he had departed from Lachish. Now the king heard concerning Tirhakah king of Cush, He has come out to fight against you. And he again sent messengers to Hezekiah, saying, Thus shall you say to Hezekiah king of Judah, Do not let your God in whom you trust deceive you by saying, Jerusalem will not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Behold, you have heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all lands, destroying them completely. And shall you be delivered? Have the gods of the nations delivered them, the nations that my fathers destroyed, Gozan, Haran, Rezeph, and the people of Eden who were in Telassar? Where is the king of Hamath, the king of Arpad, the king of the city of Sepharvaim of Hena, or of Iva? Hezekiah took the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. Then Hezekiah went up to the house of the Lord and spread it out before the Lord. And Hezekiah prayed before the Lord and said, O Lord, the God of Israel, enthroned above the cherubim, you are the God, you alone, of all the kingdoms of the earth. You have made heaven and earth. Incline your ear, O Lord, and hear. Open your eyes, O Lord, and see. Hear all the words of Sennacherib, which he has sent to mock the living God. Truly, O Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste all the nations and their lands, and have cast their gods into the fire. For they were not gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone, and so they have destroyed them. Now, O Lord our God, save us from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you alone are the Lord. Then Isaiah son of Amoz sent to Hezekiah, saying, Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel. Your prayer to me about Sennacherib king of Assyria I have heard. This is the word that the Lord has spoken concerning him. The virgin daughter of Zion despises you and laughs you to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem tosses her head behind you. Whom have you mocked and reviled? Against whom have you raised your voice and lifted your eyes on high? Against the Holy One of Israel. By your servants you have mocked the Lord, and you have said, With my many chariots I have gone up the heights of the mountains, the innermost parts of Lebanon. I cut down its tallest cedars, its choicest cypresses. I came to its highest peak, to the forest of its fruitful field. I have dug wells and drunk foreign waters. And with the soles of my feet I have dried up all the streams of Egypt. Have you not heard? I determined it long ago, in days of old I planned it. Now I have brought it to pass, that you should turn fortified cities into heaps of ruins, while their inhabitants are, with diminished strength, dismayed and shamed. They are like vegetation of the field and like the green grass, like grass on the housetops that is blighted before it is fully grown. I know you're sitting down and you're going out and you're coming in, and you're raging against me. Because you have raged against me and your arrogance has come to my ears, I will put my hook in your nose and my bit in your mouth, and I will turn you back by the way by which you came. And this shall be the sign for you. This year you shall eat what grows of itself, and in the second year what springs from that. But in the third year you shall sow and reap and plant vineyards, and eat their fruit. And the surviving remnant of the house of Judah shall again take root downward, and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and out of Mount Zion a band of survivors. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. Therefore thus says the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, He shall not come into this city, or shoot an arrow there, or come before it with a shield, or cast up a siege mound against it. By the way that he came, by the same way he shall return, and he shall not come into this city, declares the Lord. For I will defend this city to save it, for my own sake, and for the sake of my servant David. And that night the angel of the Lord went out, and struck down 185,000 in the camp of the Assyrians. And when people arose early in the morning, behold, all these were dead bodies. So Sennacherib king of Assyria departed and went home, and lived at Nineveh. And as he was worshipping in the house of Nisroch his god, Adramelech and Sharezer his sons struck him down with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Ararat. And Esarhaddon his son became king in his place.